condition to find reactions of beam. So we have seen what is reactions up to now. Whenever the word reactions will come, so either it can be a force or it can be a movement. Okay, so it can be a force or it can be a movement. Now how to find out the reactions? So which conditions we have to apply? Now you should know from here that in the structure we have few superpowers with us. Okay, we have been given few superpowers. So these are our powers which we have to use to find out the answers of the questions. Now what is the first superpower? The first superpower that we have to use is condition of equilibrium. Condition of equilibrium. So this is the first superpower. Now from now onwards we'll be seeing which are all the superpowers. So the first one that we'll be using is condition of equilibrium. Now what are the conditions of equilibrium? So in this there are three conditions. The first condition is sigma fx is equal to 0. Sigma fx is equal to 0. Second is sigma fy is equal to 0. And the third one is sigma m is equal to 0. Now this is the first superpower that we'll be using, and this is generally used to find out the reactions of the beam. Okay, so these three conditions we have to apply. Now here what is this sigma denotes? This sigma denotes summation. Okay, so this denotes summation. F stands for force and small x stands for x direction. It stands for x direction. Y stands for y direction. So these are the notations. Now what is the meaning of sigma fx is equal to 0? Sigma fx is equal to 0 means all the forces in x direction, if we add them, then it will be equal to 0. That is summation of all forces in x direction is 0. Similarly, sigma fy will be in y direction 0. Summation of all the forces in y direction is 0. Now the third condition is tricky. It is nothing but summation of all movement of forces at point is 0. Okay, we'll be seeing what is this, but for now we should be understanding what is the three conditions. Now what is x direction and y direction? So in our coordinate axis, this is the x direction and this is the y direction. Now we'll be taking some examples here. Let's consider this one point. So on this point now I will draw some forces. So this is 10, this is 10, and this is 20. Okay, now if we apply sigma fx is equal to 0, so first we'll find out what is the value of sigma fx. So sigma fx, it is 10, the first force, plus 10. So 10 plus 10, this is coming as 20. So it is not equal to 0. That means this particle A, it is not in equilibrium. It is not in equilibrium. That means if in question it is given that a point is in equilibrium, then only this condition will be satisfied. That is sigma fx is equal to 0. Similarly, the other conditions. Now in our structures, okay, basically the civil engineering structures, almost all the structures are in equilibrium. Okay, so all the structures, they are in equilibrium. What do you mean by that? That means in question, in civil engineering questions, you will not be given separately that it is in equilibrium. You have to assume that it is in equilibrium. Okay, now let's take another problem. Now in this problem, it is given as this point is in equilibrium. So there is one force which is acting, this is 10. One more force which is acting, the value is Fa, and this is 20. Okay, let's write one more equation here, and this is Fb. So you have to find Fa and Fb. You have to find Fa and Fb, and this point is in equilibrium. So how to find out? We'll apply the condition of equilibrium. First superpower, sigma fx is equal to 0. Sigma fx is equal to 0. Now first we'll find out what is the sigma fx. So sigma fx is the forces in x direction is 0. So one more thing I am telling you here, you just note it down. We all know that this is x direction and this is y direction. But this x direction is also called as positive x direction. Okay, because all the values here, they are positive. 1, 2, 3 and so on. But if you see on this another side, these values will be negative, -1, -2, -3. That means this direction is also x direction, but the direction is negative. So positive x direction and negative x direction. Similarly, this is also positive y direction and this is negative y direction. Now whatever will be the directions or signs of the forces, that will be according to this. That means this 10 force, now it is acting in positive x direction. You can see it is acting in this direction. That means we will take this 10 as positive. So plus 10. What about Fa? Fa is a force, but it is acting in x direction, but the direction is negative x direction. So that's why we will take it as minus Fa. Now this is sigma fx value, and this should be equal to 0. So if we solve this equation, 10 minus Fa is equal to 0, we will get Fa is equal to 10. Similarly, second condition is sigma Fy is equal to 0. Sigma Fy is equal to 0. So same thing will apply. This 20 is in positive y direction. So plus 20. And this Fb is in negative y direction. So minus Fb. It is equal to 0. If we solve this, Fb will be equal to 20. So this is how we'll be using these equations to find out the values of unknown reactions.